Okay, we'll do two more examples here, and make sure you watch the entire video because they're each a little different. So I have a polynomial function, and I know that one of the zeros is 7. So when I put in 7 for x, I get out 0 for y. So I know, since this is a 0, this is where I'd like to start with my synthetic division. So 2, -9, -32, -21. So what should happen here at the end is I should have a 0 if 7 is a 0. I'll bring down the 2. -9 plus 14 is 5. 5 times 7 is 35. -32 and positive 35 is 3. 3 times 7 is positive 21. So sure enough, -21 plus 21 is 0. So it is true, 7 is a 0. It's a root. It's an x-intercept. So what I have left is 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 equals 0. So then I'm going to factor to see if I can find the other two zeros. 2x and x. And this one factors to plus 3 and plus 1. So x equals -1 is another 0. And x equals -3/2, or -1.5 is the other 0. So I wanted to show you on the graphing calculator how this would look. So I'm going to start by going to y equals, and I'm going to type in this function. Let me see if I can get this to be a little brighter. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see there. So I'm going to type in 2x cubed Let me try this again here. This is a different calculator. So I'm going to type in 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 32x minus 21. So when I hit graph, the polynomial function looks like this. It's a cube, so it should start down, and the end behavior up here should be up. And it should have zeros at 7, -1, and -1.5. And if I look at the table, if I go look next to 7, I should see 0. If I look next to -1, I should see 0. And if I looked in here between -1 and -2, I would see a 0 as well. So you can see how the graphing calculator then will show us our zeros. Let's do one more problem here. F of x equals 2x cubed. Oops, starting in here. F of x equals 4x cubed plus 9x squared minus 52x plus 15. And I know that the first 0 is at -5. So that's why I'm going to start with synthetic division. Bring down the first number, multiply, multiply, add, multiply. So yep, -5 is a 0. That means if I graph it over here at -5, there should be a point. It goes through that point. So what's left is 4x squared minus 11x plus 3. So I could spend some time and take a look at this, but what I notice about this one is it doesn't factor. So to find the other two zeros, I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula, which is the opposite of b, and since my b is -11, I'm going to put plus 11, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2 times a. So 11 plus or minus the square root, and this ends up being 73 over 8. So if I type that in my calculator, hopefully you can see there. So I'm going to type in 11 plus square root 73 divided by 8. So one of the zeros is at 2.44. The other zero is when I have 11 minus square root 73 divided by 8. So 0.306. So there's the other zeros. Notice I have 3 zeros. Only one of them is an integer. These are rational numbers. They're decimals. So it's going to cross around 2.44 and around 0.36. This is positive and that's odd, so the ends should go down like this and up like this. And then I don't know exactly where, but it should do something like this. I don't know why I went through here. It should have gone up and back down through here and up through there.